Broadcasting to you live from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, this is TBC News, our top stories tonight. Blue economy agenda attracts more UK investors.
Please talk to those who can do fish processing, aquaculture. Those are the areas that we need, and we have prioritized that.
Tanzanian youth entrepreneurs part of the historic U.S. Vice President visit.
That will give an opportunity to tell the world about the ability of our young people to think, to innovate.
Good evening, I am Nasa Kingo. Just a reminder, you can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBConline, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages at TBConline. President of Zanzibar, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, says his government always welcomes investors to Zanzibar to invest in various development sectors, including blue economy. He made the remark when he met a business delegation from the United Kingdom led by the Chief Executive Officer of the Eastern Africa Association Institute, Agnes Gitau. Dr. Mwinyi says Zanzibar's blue economy agenda presents many opportunities for the investors, including fishing and seaweed farming.
With our fisheries promotion in Zanzibar, the biggest challenge we are facing is actually how to preserve the catch that the fishermen are getting. You know, it's like Zanzibar does not, we are surrounded by the ocean, and we do not have any facilities for storage or even processing. And I think we can do better there. And the only way to do that is through investment. So we will be happy to work with you around making cold storage, and please talk to those who can do fish processing, aquaculture. Those are the areas that we need, and we have prioritized that. Under the blue economy policy, fisheries comes next to tourism, because tourism is the main contributor of our GDP at the moment, but we have not exploited fisheries as we should.
He adds that apart from Zanzibar being blessed with sea and other tourist attractions adorned by many visitors, also has competitive sectors for investments in the areas of economy and tourism. The Eastern Africa Association Institute CEO Agnes Gitau says the goal of their visit to Tanzania is to explore country's potentials for even larger investments.
Is really to encourage investment, sustainable investment, but more importantly, challenge the common narrative about the risks of investing in the region. This mission was going to be led by my chairman, Lord Valentine, who sends his greetings, but unfortunately he had to return back to London. And when we started the conversation, we had a call with, we had a meeting with Her Excellency Dr. Asha Migiro, the High Commissioner to Tanzania, and who insisted that after you go to mainland, you must go to Zanzibar, because Zanzibar is also a competitive destination for investment. So I'm delighted to bring this delegation to the country, who will share their prospective business opportunities and what they're looking to do in Zanzibar, and we really appreciate your time.
The visit has been coordinated by the Eastern African Association. The Minister of Finance and Planning, Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba, has acknowledged the support by the UK Export Finance Agency to finance the construction of several development programs in Tanzania, including the Pemba Airport expansion project and road constructions. He was holding talks with the UK Export Finance CEO Tim Reid at the Institute's headquarters in London, UK. Dr. Nchemba outlines that the projects will not only boost the economic activities in the island, but also improve the lives of the Tanzanians in general.
Our economy is more stable with ample opportunities. We have potential ranging from both infrastructure to productive sectors. Currently, Her Excellency, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, designed as a response measure to these shocks, to see the government investing heavily on infrastructure, productive sectors and infrastructure, with which on productive sectors we have dedicated agriculture in broad sense. There's agriculture, livestock and fisheries, together with the blue economy at the large perspective, the standard gauge railway project with an average of over 1,219 kilometers, with Lot 5, which is recently signed, connecting to Uganda, and the Lot 6, which is also recently signed, connecting to Kigoma, that is the western part of Tanzania. These are strategic projects to our country, and on behalf of the government of the United Republic of Tanzania, we really wish to request UKEF to see the way you can participate with us in implementing these projects.
He further urges the institution to extend financial support for the construction of the 249 kilometers 50th section of the modern railway from Isaka to Mwanza and other strategic projects implemented by the government. On his part, the UK Export Finance CEO Tim Reid reassures his agency will continue to finance strategic projects in the country, including those in energy and water sectors.
In community to help deliver projects in your country, and we hope that we can work with you to have a really positive impact on the lives of many people in your community, and help to drive that infrastructure development. It's our privilege to be able to work with you, and I know you had a number of our team there earlier this year, and I think you may have me there later this year. So I look forward to a trip to come see what's going on the ground.
UK Export Finance is a UK government export credit agency responsible for capital loan provisions and products evaluations. The Director of Communication in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Ambassador Mindi Kasiga, says the visit of the US Vice President Kamala Harris is, among other things, expected to benefit young people involved in the development projects who will have opportunity to meet her in person. He asserts that the historical visit will present an opportunity for the two powerful women to meet and exhibit to the world how Tanzania has a smooth and democratic transition of power.
She's going to engage with them to know where they are, how they're doing it, and areas of cooperation, if may. So I think that will give an opportunity to tell the world about the ability of our young people to think, to innovate, to transfer knowledge, and to accommodate knowledge, and to acquire knowledge from the cyberspace, but also from elsewhere in the world, and to be able to relate that to the Vice President of the United States. I think it's going to be a good opportunity for our young people in the country as general.
Ambassador Mindi also highlights all the previous visits by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Dr. Stergomena Tax, to 4 countries, asserting that the visits aimed at strengthening relations with the respective countries in various sectors.
Different projects. There are about 150 projects, but I spoke about only 11 projects that Tanzania is going to benefit directly. Those projects include the water project in the Songwe Basin, but also the MSD project, which is on health, MSD to supply health facilities and health equipments to SADC countries.
Despite positive progress made by the Tanzanian government on gender equality and women empowerment, the World Bank new report on women, business and law report shows that globally women still have only 3/4 of the legal rights of men, and nearly 2.4 billion women of working age still do not have the same legal rights as men. Faith Gaga reports.
The Women, Business and Law Report assesses laws and regulations on women's economic participation in 190 economies from 1970 to 2022. The report covers 8 related areas, that is mobility, workplace, pay, marriage, parenthood, entrepreneurship, assets, and pension. Women, Business and the Laws analysis starts from the premise that gender equality is essential for ending extreme poverty and boosting shared prosperity. World Bank's Daniela Monica and Isabel Sant'Agostino say despite the strides that have been made in the world, there is still some work to do with regards to gender equality.
We launched the Women, Business and the Law Report 2023 here in Tanzania. We had very engaging discussions today on gender equality. And let me just start by saying, on a global level, as of today, 2.4 billion women of working age still do not hold the same legal rights as men. And this is really like being in a car, having the foot on the accelerator and on the brake at the same time. Like, you're not allowing women to participate fully and being part of the global economic workforce.
Well, when it comes to Tanzania, we have seen that actually on the Women, Business and the Law Index, Tanzania scores 80 because we found that there are still a few restrictions. For example, currently there is no legislation on domestic violence. Also, the maternity leave that is afforded to mothers does not is not equal to the ILO standards of 14 weeks. We have also seen that sons and daughters and the surviving spouses, male and female surviving spouses, have unequal inheritance rights. And also we've seen that periods of absence related to childcare are not taken into account when pensions are calculated.
Dr. Nandera Muhando, the Commissioner for Social Welfare, Ministry of Community Development, Gender, Women and Special Groups, says Tanzania is actively engaged in ensuring gender equality comes into fruition.
We've made so far, coming from Beijing meeting, and now that we have a woman who is a president, Her Excellence Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, considering that she's also spearheading Generation Equality Forum. And specifically, she has chosen thematic 2, economic justice and rights. And it is her aim that women are empowered, but also economically, but also she is very much towards reduction or removing totally gender-based violence. Generally, we say Tanzania is a very welcoming country, open, ready to engage women. And we call upon them to enable us, specifically in terms of financial access, so that we are able to reach every woman. If you reach one woman, you reach the whole family.
Laws and policies that empower women strengthen the economy and are critical for lasting progress in development. Faida Ngaga, TBC News.
Thank you very much, Faida Ngaga. Now, to understand more and in details about the report, we're joined live by the World Bank Private Sector Development Specialist, Women, Business and the Law, Isabel Sant'Agostino. Isabel, welcome to TBC News.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this invitation.
A great pleasure to be with you tonight. Just specifically, what this report specifically focuses on?
Well, let me start by saying that I find very, very hard to believe that there are still 2.4 billion women who do not have access to the same rights as men. So this is exactly what we do at Women, Business and the Law. We look at laws and regulations in 190 countries in areas that we found are key for women's economic empowerment. These are mobility, workplace, pay, parenthood, marriage, entrepreneurship, assets, and pension. And within each one of these areas, we look at 4 to 5 key specific aspects of the law, which we have found are associated with very important outcomes, so economic and social outcomes. For example, we have seen that when there is more legal gender equality, more women are employed in the formal sector. There are also more women who earn more in comparison, in relation to men. And we've also seen that there are more women parliamentarians and more women in managerial positions. So again, we believe that without gender equality, basically countries are hopping on one foot. And I invite you to try hopping on one foot, especially wearing heels.
Now, coming to Tanzania, what can you say have been the positive strides that Tanzania has made?
So in general, we have noticed among our key findings that on one side, as we said, women enjoy 77% of the legal rights of men. And specifically when it comes to Tanzania, women enjoy about 81% of the legal rights afforded to men, which are basically 4/5 of the legal rights afforded to men. There are 3 specific areas where Tanzania actually has the highest score, which are mobility, workplace, and pay. And it scores 100. And among other findings, specifically for Tanzania, we have seen in general that we have recorded no reforms over the past year, while in general, overall, we've recorded 34 reforms across 18 countries. And while this may seem a good number, it's actually the lowest number of reforms that we've recorded over the past 20 years, since 2001. And currently, there's only 14 countries that score 100 on the Women, Business and the Law Index, which is the highest score possible.
Now, going globally, what currently needs government's attention as far as laws and regulations are concerned? Which areas that need actually all government's attention as far as the report is concerned?
In general, we have seen that despite the progress that we have been able to track, and despite the fact that 2,000 reforms were enacted over the past 50 years, there are still several gaps, for example, at the global level when it comes to parenthood. So in that area, we see that there is a gap in the enactment of legislation related to maternity leave, paternity leave, and parental leave. For example, many countries also do not have in place workplace protections for women. For example, they do not guarantee equal pay for work of equal value or other types of workplace protections. So I would say these are the main areas that governments worldwide should address.
I hope that they get to be addressed. Thank you very much, Isabella Sant'Agostino, the World Bank Private Sector Development Specialist on Women, Business and the Law, for your insights on the new World Bank Women, Business and Law Report. The Sokoine University of Agriculture, SUA Vice Principal Professor Raphael Chibuda says the agricultural researches carried out by the university have strengthened the university academically, leading to the establishment of a PhD degree in agroforestry. He made the remark during the University Capacity Building Project BSU, managed by the SUA University and the Danish government, which has been implemented for a period of 10 years. Here is a report prepared by Monica Liampawe, read by Apasia Ringo.
Agriculture in Morogoro is the oldest institution in the country, which continues to make major reforms in the agricultural sector through various agricultural and livestock researches. Here, the Vice Principal of the university, Professor Raphael Chibuda, says that now the university has established a PhD degree in agroforestry and has already started benefiting the communities.
Kwenye upande wa aquaculture, mfano ufugaji samaki,
they have helped us to train our teachers and started the construction of fish farming infrastructure. Also, it has helped us to start providing PhD in agroforestry. Students are available and it has good progress. In addition, it has helped us in adding value to crops.
On his part, Sebastian Inosh, who is the Human Resources Management Assistant Director at the institutions under the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, says that apart from the academic growth, the agricultural experts and officers also do benefit from these researches.
The Tanzanian society benefits from the increase of professionals who will be teaching students who can work in different areas and help the agriculture officials, breeders and those in charge of fishing. Eventually, we will promote the production of various crops and raising them economically.
Here, some researchers highlight how the project has facilitated them to do various researches on agriculture and livestock.
If you have professionals who will teach other people, you'll be helping SUA and the country, because the result of those who will be taught will go to work with the community.
I have acquired enough knowledge that will enable me to do several researches that will help my country in developing the economy, lifting women and young people who are watched by the government more closely.
Every year on March 23rd, World Meteorological Day is celebrated to mark the official formation of the World Meteorological Organization, WMO, in 1950. The day recognizes the crucial role of the national meteorological and hydrological agencies and services in ensuring the safety and welfare of the society. To understand how the day is celebrated here in Tanzania, we're joined by Joyce Makwata, who is a weather forecast analyst, talking to our reporter John Matthias. And here she starts by outlining how the agency is set to offer world-class meteorological services.
First of all, for the decision making for various sectors. For instance, weather information can be used in the agriculture and food security sectors, but also the information can be used for livestock and fisheries sector. It also can be used in the energy, water and minerals, health sector, transport and transportations also. But also the information that Tanzania Meteorological Authorities provide to the users, it can be used individually. For instance, farmers, fisheries and other people conducting marine activities can use this information for the daily activity that they conduct in their areas.
Now, after observing the importance of this day, how TMA now has advanced in terms of technologies so as to deliver the right information on the right time to the city?
First of all, we need to follow the process on how to prepare the information before you deliver to the society or to the users. So far, when we conduct the daily analysis, so we have this kind of observation that we have conducted in various stations that are located in Tanzania. And through that observation, we need to also to interchange the data, national and international. So we share the information with the other centers or with the other region or with the other nations, because we say that weather has no boundaries. So we need to share these informations. After observations and share the information, after receiving from the various meteorological stations within the country, we do the analysis. And therefore we package that, we interpret that information, package it in dissemination. So far, TMA has we have purchased radars. Currently, there are 3 radars that are working. The one is from Dar es Salaam, Mwanza, and Mtwara. But also, TMA has also in the process of installation of 2 other radars.
By concluding how TMA now has been able to deliver information to the large audience, especially in Tanzania.
Tanzania Meteorological Authority, we have almost 83 radio stations that they receive information or weather information from TMA on the daily basis. And also we have almost 14 television that they receive the information from the TMA offices in order to disseminate to the users. And also we have 2 newspapers that they usually print the information that we provide on a daily basis to the users. And also, general TMA also use the social medias to disseminate the information that we provide every day. But sometimes we find that we have a seasonal rain that we issue the information. Therefore, we use those platforms to provide the information to the users. And we expect that that information is useful.
That item concludes local news tonight. International news is up next.
Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has appointed a senior member of the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF, Getachew Reda, as the head of which fought a 2-year civil war against the federal government, nominated Getachew last week. The move is part of an implementation of the peace agreement of the TP.
Our fighters are not trigger-happy people who were in the war simply for the fighting or for the shooting. They were there to address political grievances that we felt as the people we had every right to fight for. And we also believe that peace is the best game in town at this point in time. And as long as their political causes are addressed in a peaceful manner, and we have reason to believe that our causes can be addressed in a political dialogue, and then there is no reason why we should continue fighting, because we were not there. We were not in the fighting for the sake of fighting. We were there because we had grievances we had causes, and we have reason to believe that our causes could be addressed in a peaceful manner. And I don't have the slightest doubt that our fighters will be fully behind our efforts to sustain peace and to get Tigray back on track and to rebuild it from ground up.
The interim regional administration will be in position until regional elections are held under the supervision of the Electoral Commission. Ethiopia's House of People's Representatives yesterday removed the terrorist designation of TP in Maputo, Mozambique, to share experiences in the management conservation areas to protect projects connected to environmental protection. The Mitandao conservation areas. This particular project is being implemented in the Maputo National Park with the aim of promoting a better environment in the conservation areas. Equatorial Guinea has confirmed 8 more cases of the Marburg. The cases were confirmed following laboratory analysis of additional.
First and foremost, we need to intensify the epidemiological surveillance, so quickly confirming contacts of cases themselves. And the most important thing to do, of course, is to stop the transmission of the virus. The virus is transmitted in body fluids, so blood, sweat. For healthcare workers, who are some of the first, make sure that they are aware of all the precautions, even as they do their clinical care of people and investigations of the disease. They have the knowledge to stop them being infected. And then very importantly, at the same time as we are understanding further, confirming the cases, isolating the cases to make sure that we minimize contact with other people.
The new cases were reported from areas bordering Cameroon and Gabon. Marburg is transmitted to people from fruit bats and spreads among humans through direct contact with the bodily fluids of infected people, surfaces, and materials.
And that was international news. The sports news is up next.
Tanzanian international boxers George Bonabucha and Hassan Donga say they are weekend at Kasarani Stadium in Nairobi, Kenya. Speaking during the training in Dar es Salaam, the boxers claimed that they are training hard for the encounter against their opponent and to represent well Tanzania.
I want to tell Tanzanians that I'm ready to fight and my team are ready. I, as Ndonga, have prepared against my opponents and I will bring the belt home. Thanks to Almighty God, I'm okay. Everything is going well and with a title belt.
There will be other 6 fights from Uganda, Fatume Azidius Oduor. Golfers from different clubs and outside the country have already registered to play Lugalo Open 2023, which will take place at Lugalo Golf Court on March 25th in Dar es Salaam. Lugalo Golf Club chairman, retired Brigadier General Michael Luongo, insists that the competition will be tough as many golfers are ready to showcase their talents during the tournament.
This tournament is for amateur golfers, as well as seniors, women's and juniors. All the categories will participate in the tournament. Most of golfers have already registered and ready to play.
Minister of Information Communications and Information Technology, Napen Nnauye, is expected to close the tournament, which will include golfers from inside and outside the country. Malio Cheto, TBC News.
Thank you very much, Malio Cheto. And that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Nasa Kingo. Have a lovely night.